Hold on. This men's, you see it on the scanner. First green day bounce. Right here. Right here. Hold on. Men's happened. Right here. $4 to $8. First green day bounce. Textbook. HXHX. HXHX. Pre-market breakout. Textbook pre-market breakout at 65. We go up to 150, man. 150 textbook. And not even to mention our top gainer of the day, which was the stock that I still have, 250 shares, FJet. We had traders in the chat room coming in and taking another dollar, another dollar, another dollar, another dollar, another dollar, all the way up to $36. Even though I was buying this ticker at like 11ish. I have like 14ish, still I have 14ish 5 long. They were like looking at it like, where's the wedge? Where's the breakout point? It was like, look, this is kind of a wedge pattern here that's happening at 17.5. Look, this is a wedge pattern that's happening right here, and it also coincides with a daily breakout of 1774. Not only it's a daily breakout, it's a 52-week breakout. That's straight out of my course. 52-week breakout, daily breakout, uptrending wedge pattern. You buy it at 17.5 and you hold the snot out of it. And look how easy it got. Got all the way up to 34. If you just studied, that's all you got to do. It's study and be ready for them, because if you're not, you're just going to be left behind. It's just you have to be reactive every day. Market flips on you. PDT 2000, hot all the time, hot all the time, hot all the time. If you haven't practiced, you're just gonna miss the opportunity of the lifetime.
Or they'd have their playbook and they would be coming back to it 6 months later. Oh yeah, that's in my playbook. So I understood that opportunity. They would be reviewing their playbook every single day, all the opportunities that were in there, and they would be
Like my playbook has how many examples? The most easy to follow examples available in the world. My playbook is very basic. I have 30 examples of every single setup, and they're the most simple setups you can find. 52, daily breakout, day 2 continuation, first green day bounce, pre-market 7 a.m. push. We seen that today. We had a 7 a.m. push today, and we're going to probably have one tomorrow. Intraday breakout, opening range breakout, we had that today. A pre-market breakout, we had that today. Trendline breakout, we had that today. Wedge breakout, we had that intraday. And then you're going to move on to something more advanced. Day 2 short, we had that today. Aussie was a day 2 short, which is over here. If you study the day 2 short, which amazingly, look at Aussie. That was a short into VWAP. Did I take this short? I did not, but that short it rejected VWAP like I don't know. It opened up below VWAP and you could have shorted that into VWAP. That was a day 2 short, straight out of my textbook. And then it gets more advanced. Day 2, day 3 short, the gap up short. Those things get more interesting. But these playbooks they work, and there's at least 30 examples, and that's what every single guru on the internet is going to tell you that made millions of dollars. You need 20 or 30 examples to have a strategy. Do you have 20 to 30 examples of a strategy to call it and put it in your playbook? You don't. If you don't, you're gambling. It's that simple. You want to gamble or you want to make money? Which one do you want to do? And you can add to this playbook. This is the basic playbook that I have. And then the next one, my next book, I will have more things in my playbook. Do you even have a playbook?
refining it. They would be testing it. They would be looking at it as an opportunity, not to be challenged to say, man, I have to go do that work again, but to challenge themselves and say, is that the right work? Is that the right opportunity? If we get this opportunity, how are we going to balance that and have that controlled courage? That really important element that goes into all of that is they were practicing with so much intention. Every single thing that they did was to balance that controlled courage.
All right, let's highlight a life lesson from Armand and Nano, and then we're going to pivot to a new trader. But before we do that, kudos to Armand and Nano on their willingness to change. The most arresting statistic on the difficulty of human change that Lance alluded to comes from a study of heart bypass patients. You're not going to believe this. Often cited by Harvard professors Robert Keegan and Lisa Leahy. The stat, 1 in 7. When doctors tell heart patients that they will literally die if they do not change their lifestyle, diet, exercise, smoking, only 1 in 7, 14%, is able to make those changes. Let's pivot to another star trader at the firm, Graham. Talent matters. Graham is somebody who I just remember Lance chirping about and chirping about and chirping about before he ever became great, before his P&L ever really got on the radar of the partners or senior people at the firm. So we have these weekly meetings at our firm. I have other partners, and I'll say things like, hey, watch out for, they're coming up the curve. Hey, watch out for, they're doing great work. And lots of times I think my partners look at me like I'm nuts because they look at the P&L for some of these traders and it's like nothing. To Jeff's point before, we were chirping about Stephen H coming up the curve, and he had made like $2,000 for the month. I have to say, I always liked Graham, and I certainly recognized he was really smart. But usually I'm the one who's chirping about someone's going to become real great before other people recognize it. I feel like I'm the one who's usually over.
Yeah, that's right. The people that ask the most amount of questions, that are doing their own due diligence, they're going to other, they're going to other websites, they're studying other traders. Those people are going to be successful. I used to there was a trader that I'm not gonna name. He has like, I don't know, 300 videos. He made, I don't know, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million in some of his best years or something. I used to watch it like 5 years ago religiously, how he draws his line, how what type, I used to watch all his the trading videos multiple times on a daily basis. And I don't know how many, he's still on YouTube. I'm not gonna name him, but I was watching his videos consistently. He had, I don't know, like 200 videos. He made, I don't know, 1 million. I know all of them. I know all of them. If you're not going out there and are just researching information based on this topic, you're just going to be behind. You need to grab a little bit from here. How does the great painter come about?